Just out of curiosity, what happens if I apologize to Dragon here? I'm sorry. You're right. If we had just given up then, 6 people would be alive instead of 4. I promise, I'll try to make it up to you. Then perish. Before I could explain myself any further, Dragon rushed at me. Even without a weapon, she was lethal. Her fists were enough. I knew then if I didn't immediately recover, I'd be done for. What was the point? I was done for either way. I was on the floor, she hit me again. I don't know if I was knocked unconscious or if I was killed. I know is that in one moment I was there, and in the next I was gone. I didn't wake up again. She really just then perished me. Alright, fair enough. Alright, let's try to get this code right. Yes. Here's nothing. You know the answer? Maybe? That's not confidence inspiring. Just let me try. Start to input the code. Okay. There were a few good interpretations in the comments, which are far smarter than me, so we're going to try these and see if these work. So 3589 to start with. This has to be it. I input the code, the safe open. Hey, you did it. Yep. Looks like an escape room king is no match against a puzzle master, such as myself. Yeah, whatever. Just see what's inside. I reached inside and grabbed another token. It was a familiar shape. A minor trinket. Great, so this wasn't a waste of time. Thank God, it would have sucked if it was something stupid like a gun or whatever. So should we go bring this to Tiger? That is the plan, yes. Then let's get going. Alright, heck yeah. And now we're back where we started. And this poll was way closer. I should say it started out kind of one-sided, but drew closer than I expected. But we're going to start out by investigating Tiger's guilt. I'm sorry, Tiger, but I think we need to investigate and see if you're really the criminal. You don't trust me? I want to, but Ox has brought up a good points. Fine. Whatever you want. Just hope the others can pick up the slack and find the trinkets while you 4 waste your time. Very good. Things were settled. Now, you have a lot of thoughts going back to Snake is sus. Because we know from past experience that Snake is the victorious personality. And our choices for the other personality were Dragon, who's now dead, and Sheep. And possibly Dog. We did check Tiger's tablet in Snake's route, and she was not. While the others looked for minor trinkets, and we'd investigate Dragon's murder. We all briefly went into separate rooms to input our actions for the next round, and then we returned to work. Don't try anything funny, Tiger. We're strong, but I've confiscated the sniper rifle, and there's 4 of us. We're not going to do anything. Investigating a crime scene. It's never a fun time. You do this often? I guess you would, being a police officer and all. Yeah. So as a cop, what do you think? I think I need to see more. There are a few oddities in this scene that make me think Ox is being a little hasty. Try and look for anything that stands out of place if Tiger was the killer. See what we could make of it. So, where to check first? Oh shit, alright. You touch Dragon's body. We for sure have to look at Dragon's body, right? Well, it is a murder investigation, so that'd sure be handy. Right. I'm not looking forward to examining a corpse. If you want, I could do most of the examining. Yeah, that'd probably be for the best. I'm not trying to be a baby or anything, it's just kind of... You know? Say no more. I used to be just like that. It's honestly probably disturbing that I'm as fine with looking at dead bodies as I am. Isn't that normal for a cop? It is. Doesn't make it less disturbing. But I digress. Let's get to examining. Bunny approached the corpse and started looking over it. After a time, he returned with a report. There's not really any surprises in terms of cause of death. She was definitely bludgeoned to death by a single hit over the head with that lamp. I believe the lamp was previously sitting on the table on the left side of the room. Anyway, there was one detail which caught my eye. There was bruising on her neck. Bruising? Basically, she was choked out at some point. Not with a tool. Someone wrapped their hands around her and just started squeezing tight. Oh, Jesus. Horrible. Horrible, but also telling. Think about Tiger's strength. I don't think it's exaggerating when I say she could probably crush a human's windpipe if she really wanted to. Could she? I'm sorry to say that, but I don't know the strength needed for windpipe crushing. You need a lot, but not more than Tiger has. The choking attempt definitely failed. That's not a mistake. I guess I'm thinking that Tiger wouldn't have failed. Someone with average strength, like me for instance, could easily try to choke her out. Failed to, and let Dragon temporarily escape. If Tiger had her hands around that neck, she could have just squeezed and it'd be over with. Just like that. That makes sense. That's pretty loosey-goosey when it comes to evidence. That doesn't prove anything by itself. Was there anything else you noticed about her? No, that was basically it. Any other clues we found here? I got it. We should check Dragon's tablet. Her tablet? Yeah. Why? Might be nothing, but it's worth checking. Instead of explaining, I walked over to the tablet and turned it on. I moved to the information section of the tablet. I wasn't expecting much, but... Oh my god. What? No way. I never thought Dragon was like this. What is it? Dragon had the hateful personality. There it is. I'm not surprised. What? Seriously? People started crowding around me and looking over my shoulder. Sure enough, it was written plain as day, and in green text for whatever reason. Why would she hide this from us? Was she scared we'd turn on her? Maybe. She's also angry. I knew it. There was something fishy about that girl. It certainly makes me feel better about this whole thing. It would, wouldn't it? Snake. Does that make me sound crass? I suppose it does. But speaking factually, she was something of an inevitable casualty if we planned for the group to survive. In a sense, it makes her murder. Meaningless is probably the wrong word, isn't it? Yes, it is! Ironic that you're the one saying that, given you're the victorious one. Now, so let's get back to focusing on the investigation. I mean, yeah, this was a pretty shocking piece of news. I don't actually know if it changes much. Oh, it changes things all right. Pieces were starting to come together. Just needed a bit more evidence. Okay. I want to check out Tiger's head injury some more. Shouldn't looking into that prove whether or not she made the whole thing up? I don't know about that. It is worth looking into, though. Looking at the bits of blood on the end of that metal pipe, it's clear what the weapon was. Hey, Tiger, would you mind if you looked at your injury a little closer? Sure thing. Tiger sat on the floor as Bunny started inspecting her head. Her head through her head. Through her hair? I see. Well, if I can say one thing for sure. She didn't inflict this wound upon herself. It was a hit to the left back side of her head from a horizontal blunt strike with a whole amount of force. And I don't know how you can self-inflict that. Could you maybe hold it behind your head and try to swing? I don't think you get how much force I'm talking about here. It's possible she could have been concussed or even killed from something like this. It's literally impossible to get that sort of momentum by just moving your wrists and parts of your arms. It's only a single strike. So that's it. She's proven innocent with this, right? I don't know about that. After all, even if she was hit, the It doesn't necessarily mean she couldn't have gone on to kill Dragon, then faked being knocked out by it. However, it certainly makes it a lot less likely. A blow like this would be absolutely send even someone like Tiger to her knees for quite a bit of time. Someone striking like this, that's someone who is not afraid to kill. I guess it's just tricky for me to see his scenario where Tiger gets hit by this and somehow gets the upper hand. She'd be brought down. Even if she wasn't unconscious, she wouldn't exactly be in any fighting shape. She was found lying by the left table, right? Yeah. The iron pipe and the sniper rifle were both lying near her. Say, what's that? Is that a pen gouged into the wooden table? I think you're right. Pen's just stuck in there, sticking out. Who would do something like that? Who knows? I doubt it has much to do with anything, though. I guess. Okay. Scribble Note. The most damning piece of evidence against Tiger would have to be that note, right? We should probably focus on it for a bit, don't you think? Makes sense to me. Let's take a look at this thing. Walked over to the counter where the note was written. Indeed, it was easy to see how Dragon could quickly start scribbling on that sheet of paper with the provided pen in a moment of desperation. But is that what happened? Let's go over the details of this note. Maybe that can help source its authenticity. Yeah. This was a critical point. If the note was forged, then Tiger was definitely being framed. If the note was real, Tiger was almost certainly the killer. Those were the only options. Unfortunately, we don't have a sample of Dragon's handwriting to compare this to. If we did, well, that'd make our job a lot easier. However, the jagged writing and messy nature of it does suggest that it was written quickly in a fit of panic. The unfinished Z in particular is very convincingly done. While we're talking about the Z, the fact that it was unfinished does imply she was struck down while writing this. As to the pattern of blood flecks. Not in the middle of the paper, more splayed a bit to the sides. This is in line where they'd generally fall if they came from below directly at the top back of the head, right in front of it. And the angle of the flecks too, that's hard to fake. I'll go on the record and say that the blood, at least authentically, came from an attack happening right near the sheet of paper. But that's not to say the writing's legit. It could be forged. Hell, it could have been written after the blood got on the page. Wow. It was certainly a detailed analysis. This stuff's pretty standard for a crime scene investigation. Anyway, I think the existence of this note is the biggest mark against it. Well, what do you mean? I mean, people aren't stupid. Do you think Tiger really wouldn't notice this written down like that? If she did notice it, do you really think she'd just leave incriminating evidence like that lying around? I know... I've been saying that Tiger's legally blind. But someone had a suggestion in the comments that sorry, I blanked out for a second there. Someone had a comment that it might not be the case that Tiger is legally blind. It might just be that she can't read, which is also completely plausible. I mean, if it's a matter of Tiger still seeing things going on around her, I mean, that is why I said legally blind and not just straight up blind. It's like, if you're legally blind, you still maintain some... You can still technically maintain some degree of vision, but not... I'm not 100% sure about the specifics of that designation, so I shouldn't say too much about it, but in either case, that could be a plausible explanation, but this in particular could be explained by either explanation, but it does make me think that they might be trending towards she can't read. No, she'd have trashed it immediately. Convincing as the writing may be, I've got to say that the whole thing's probably a scam. Probably. Okay. Made a note of everything Bunny said and continued onwards. Gunshots. So I heard gunshots. We all did, yes. What was that about? So the sniper rifle was fired 4 times. Thrice in quick succession, and then a 4th a few moments later. I heard that. Where did the gun fire? Surely we should be able to tell where the bullets went, right? That we can, and we have. Obviously there are 4 impact points. 2 are against the left wall. 1 hit a nearby chair. And 1 hit the end of that metal pipe. Metal pipe? Indeed, it is quite strange. Do you think the pipe could have been used to block a bullet? I quite doubt that. I think it more likely that the pipe was leaning up against the wall that was shot at. It was incidentally struck. But I can't completely deny your proposal. Wasn't much time between those shots and us getting to the crime scene, was there? No, there was not. Whatever happened after those bullets were fired, there wasn't much time for anything else. As someone not currently favoring the defense or prosecution of Tiger, I must say that those shots are the detail that sticks out the most to me like a sore thumb. It is the hardest to frame in any cohesive narrative. For that reason, it is either the most or least important part of this whole thing. Well, thanks for that totally unhelpful solicited advice, Snake. Keep being you. That I will. It is interesting that the killer didn't take the gun with them. Maybe they were afraid they'd be seen with it. True, but they could at least take the pistol or the poison, don't you think? I guess. They must not have had enough time. No trinkets were taken either, though Tiger was unconscious. It's actually the last person to give her a trinket, so I know the number collected was 6. All 6 are present. But wait, doesn't that raise a problem with... Victim's location and killer's location, eh? Victim? Isn't it strange that Dragon was here? What do you mean? People have been visiting Tiger to drop off the trinkets they've collected, right? Dragon didn't have a trinket with her. Why was she here? Huh. If Tiger was the killer, it's not like she could leave to go looking for someone to bring them back here. So either Dragon came here of her own volition, or she was killed somewhere else and brought here to frame Tiger. But if Dragon wasn't dropping off a trinket, why would Dragon come here? I suppose she could have been passing by, or she could have come to talk with Tiger. That just seems kind of coincidental. You're right, that is odd. I don't know. No, it might be nothing. I was just thinking about it. Anyway, let's keep looking around. That's pretty much everything that I had to look at. Yeah, that covers the basics of the investigation. I don't know how much it clears up. Give me a second, I'm gonna think about all the evidence and try to piece together the crime. Take all the time you need to piece things together. As for me, I'm convinced. Tiger couldn't be the culprit here. There's just too many oddities. Seriously. I've been swayed just by looking around this room. Better have found some conclusive and convincing evidence. I don't know about conclusive, but it's definitely convincing. Convinced me, anyways. Did it? I'm sorry, but if it's not substantial, I won't change my mind on this. Gosh, how much do you hate me? Feels like ever since you started suspecting me, you haven't let up on me whatsoever. Like a shark who smelled blood. Must be your cop instincts that make you such a predator. For the last time, it's a prosecutor. You know there's a real cop standing right over there. That's right. That's right, Tiger's right. Ox, you seem unfairly fixated on her guilt. She was clearly attacked and you're blaming her. Even the note central to your case against her doesn't make any sense. It shouldn't be there. I'm not saying I know everything. Where do you propose the killer escaped to? I already covered the possible exits. If not Tiger, that culprit would either have to be you or Snake. Aye, the moment Tiger seems like less of a target, Ox moves on to the closest others for his next target. What frightful instincts on this one. I don't care if I'm frightful, I'm trying to keep us all alive. We can't trust Tiger. Don't you see the longer you waste on this, the less time you spend looking for minor trinkets? Let's just stop talking about this already. Got it. What? I've made my decision. After looking things over, I think there's a clear answer. What's that? On the matter of Tiger's guilt. Is Tiger the killer? Oh, well. Well. In the interest of time, I'm gonna give my honest verdict. No. Tiger didn't do it. She clearly did. No, she didn't. That wound couldn't have been self-inflicted. She would have destroyed that note. She could have crushed Dragon's windpipe had she been the one trying to choke her. There's no explanation for why Dragon came to the lobby. None of it makes sense if she's the killer. That's what I'm talking about. I knew you had my back, Mouse. Oh dear, it appears you've been suckered in as well, Mouse. Snake? I suppose the task falls on me to elegantly explain how it all happened. How exciting! I feel like a regular pro. Are you taking this seriously? I always take things seriously. The fact of the matter is, there's nothing stopping Tiger from being the culprit. Let's run through the points in kind, shall we? From my understanding, here are the following reasons that show Tiger is not responsible for Dragon's death. The wound to the back of her head, the fact that Dragon's neck was not snapped, the lack of motivation on Tiger's part, the presence of the note that implicates Tiger, and the mysterious fired bullets. To start, I'd like to elucidate Tiger's motive. She did not incite this incident. Rather, Dragon came to attack Tiger so she could steal the weapons on account of her being a traitor. In this initial attack, Tiger received a blow to the back of her head. But Snake? Ooh, that wound definitely should have incapacitated her. In your amateurish opinion. But you are a cop, Bunny, not a doctor. Your testimony isn't decisive of anything. Tiger, an incredible athlete, was surprisingly able to take the blow, and Tiger fought back. The reason that she did not break Dragon's neck is simply because she did not wish to. At first, Tiger wanted to incapacitate Dragon, but after Dragon broke free of her grasp, Tiger resorted to murder. Before being killed, Dragon wrote a note warning the group of Tiger's crazed state. Why not dispose of it? In a state of rage and bloodlust, it's more than possible to miss such a thing. Many murderers have said they completely blacked out in the process of carrying the deed out. Finally, to make it seem like there was a third party involved, Tiger did something entirely unnecessary. She fired bullets from the gun, then pretended to be unconscious. That's not it. And none of that's evidence, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Oh? Then who do you suggest knocked you out? Was it me? Yes, I'm sorry to tell you, Tiger, but that seems a bit out of my capabilities. Was it Bunny? If so, why then would he try to clear a name of the murder? It seems entirely counterintuitive. Was it Ox or Mouse? They were together, and one traitor is dead, so that rules them out. If the killer isn't one of the three of us, where did they escape to? The open commons? they surely would have been seen. Out to the front door? Only the mastermind could do that. No, they didn't leave in the first place. That's the answer. When you use process of elimination, it does seem like it has to be Tiger. Uh-oh. As I expected, it was Tiger's work all along. The more the investigation dragged on, the clearer that became. Huh. I was so sure that Tiger was just being framed. Uh-oh. With all that laid out, I've got no choice but to believe that Tiger's guilty. You're all wrong! I didn't do anything wrong! It's her fault she attacked me! Snake was the one disrupting the... She was the one disrupting the order. She needed to die for the team to survive. Tiger? Stop looking at me like that! Well, you're just dropping shit on me left and right now. Holy shit. Well, this kind of spun out of control. Alright, fine, we'll forgive you. Tiger, I understand that you were scared. Feels like we're stuck in the rut where Tiger did it. And did she actually do it, or did she confess to it? It's okay now. Please, just talk with us. Why'd you hide this from us? If I told anyone, you'd all exclude me when push came to shove. You couldn't trust a murderer, and you wouldn't believe that it was self-defense. I'd end up dead if I had to hide it. You certainly had to hide it. Not because of that, is it? What do you mean? Tiger, you're certainly working the sympathy angle to some success right now. Uh-oh. But you're not deserving of that, are you? Oh no. You're nothing but a rage-filled murderer. The hell are you talking about? You had to hide it because if you didn't, you'd go to jail when we get out. You'll go to jail for a long time. No, I wouldn't. No, I won't. Yes, you will. Had Dragon survived, she surprisingly would have had a strong case. Courts are very lenient to extenuating circumstances. The plank of carnatis has been the precedent for several rulings which are lenient if you kill someone in order to save yourself. Dragon was a poor victim of an evil death game, doing what was needed to survive. You, however, have no such excuse. Okay, Snake. It was self-defense. Self-defense, you say? It's an awfully difficult thing to prove, were it even true. But let's go over the sequence of events, shall we? Dragon blindsided you with an attack using a metal pipe. Easily were able to disarm her and bring her to the ground. It wasn't easy. Fine, you brought her to the ground with difficulty. Either way, at the moment you started to strangle her, you had won the fight. Now, contrary to popular belief, just because someone has attempted to kill you, does not give you carte blanche to murder them back. You need to prove that they present a clear and present danger to the life of you or someone else. That requirement was certainly not met when you began to strangle Dragon to death. I wasn't going to kill her then. Impossible to say. Either way, Dragon narrowly escaped your grasp and began to scribble a desperate note. However, in your rage-fueled state, you didn't stop your assault. Grabbed a nearby weapon and bashed it in the back of her skull. She was unarmed, clearly injured, and not able to put up a fight. She was scared and her back was turned. Yet, you murdered her. I'm sorry, but the fact that you have a deadly collar around your neck doesn't change the legality of those actions. She was a traitor. She had the hateful personality. How is that not a clear and present danger? To be fair to... Well, Snake is clearly deliberately trying to antagonize her. To be fair to his point of view, we didn't know that. But you did not know that at the time, did you? Even if you did, that still isn't enough to justify an immediate murder like that. You killed her because you wanted to, not because you had to. Shut up. Snake, stop it. She doesn't know the specifics of self-defense law. She probably thought she was fine. You don't need to assign malicious intent to her covering it up. but she's plenty knowledgeable of self-defense law. Aren't you, Zahara Abadi? What? Shut up. What are you talking about, Snake? You know, I was in one of the classrooms where there were a number of project boards done by students. However, I didn't recognize one of the boards. Rather, I didn't recognize one of the topics on one of the boards. After reading it over, I quickly realized this was a project done by our very own Brian. Brian generously decided to share some research he had done on Zahara. That is, Tiger. Oh. Do you want to know what happened to Zahara's mother? Well, Zahara ended up pushing that mother off of the balcony off her 7th-story hotel room in self-defense. Oh my. Tiger? By the looks of things, the media painted this as a tragedy for Zahara. Her crazy, estranged mother, finally out of jail, tracks down her daughter and somehow blames the child for ruining her life. That mother, Aliyah, barges her way to Zahara's room, argues with her, and pulls a knife on Zahara. Aliyah starts coming at Zahara with a knife. In self-defense, Zahara tries to wrestle with her mother, and in the conflict, Aliyah ends up going over the edge. What a sad, sad story for Zahara. If that's what happened. Given what we've seen, I'm starting to wonder if that really was self-defense. Shut up! Brian certainly thought it wasn't. His project pointed out various pieces of the story that seemed odd. Certainly Aliyah was far from blameless, because she definitely tracked down her estranged daughter with a grudge. But was Olympian Zahara really so intimidated by a frail woman with a knife that she had to kill her own mother? Zahara was an Olympian. She did advertising, and she did so much more. She had many friends in PR who would have an interest in spinning the story favorably for Zahara. People who wouldn't want the public considering if Zahara might have had her own grudge against Aliyah. If maybe murder wasn't the only option for Zahara, but a choice made. Where else we should go? What? Tell me, Zahara, didn't you want to kill your mother? Shut up! You did, didn't you? Why wouldn't you? She was a monster. And there was one strangely unrelated article in the mix. Zahara, whatever happened to your brother? Shut up! Tiger had grabbed the nearby metal pipe and struck Snake across the head. Oh, shit. Or else we gotta run now. Ox grabbed my arm and started running away. Bunny came with me. As I was pulled away, I saw a single-minded tiger beating a dazed Snake again and again with a pipe. He would almost certainly be dead in a few moments. Ox stopped us in a nearby bathroom. Holy shit! What was that about? I don't know. What was Snake doing bringing up all that shit to that psycho? It's like he was trying to get Tiger to snap. Was everything he said true? Most likely. It's very well possible that Tiger has killed in the past, and we're now simply dealing with an easily angered murderer. What are we going to do now? None of us can take down Tiger. Take down? All the weapons are in the other room. The room she's closest to. The only one who might stand a chance would be Horse, but who knows where he's at now. We have to do something about her. Something about her? What are you two talking about? We need to come to an understanding. Come to an understanding? You just clobbered that shit out of Snake for basically nothing? Basically nothing? If I brought up someone's past history, past traumas, and history of family abuse, traumatic past, and whatnot, and essentially try to victim blame the shit out of them, you could understand them getting angry in response to that. That's not basically nothing, Bunny. She's too dangerous. She can't be normally dealt with. It'd be preferable if we could come to an understanding, but I don't find that too likely an outcome. at this point, I think it likely she realized that she's in for a penny, in for a pound. When she calms down, it's very possible that she'll go into the weapons closet, grab 2 pistols, and start killing everyone. If she can do that, it'll be easy to escape the race. No, she's the only survivor. She'll have plenty of time and leeway in spinning a narrative where she's done nothing wrong. Wouldn't it be better if we worked together with her and survived? You want to work with her? You're right, it'd be better, but it's not likely. Look, I'll go out there. I've got experience as a policeman with talking to people with criminal tendencies in tense situations. I should be able to calm her down. Then I can handle it. No, let me. I've talked with Tiger a lot. I know I can come to an understanding with her. No, we should let Bunny handle this. He's been trained for situations just like this. You, on the other hand, are completely untrained. But don't fight me on this, Mouse. Trust me, this is for the best. I don't like this, but fine. On one condition, you get to be waiting right around the corner in case anything goes wrong. Sure, if you want. Great, then let's hurry. Bunny quickly made his way down the hallway, back to the lobby, me right behind him. Then Bunny turned the corner and started approaching Tiger. I couldn't see their conversation, but I could hear it. Tiger, hey, breathe. You don't want to hurt anyone, do you, Tiger? What are you here for? I'm here to help you, Zahara. No, you're not. Whoa, okay, calm down. I'm perfectly calm. Easy. I just want to discuss things. I don't believe you. I couldn't bear it anymore. I ran out from behind the corner and started shouting at Tiger. Oh, no. Tiger, please, just listen to us. Just trying to come to an understanding. No, you're not. Don't bullshit me. Without listening to another word, Tiger began charging at the 2 of us. I got out of the way, but Bunny was pinned by her. Oh, no. It was cowardly, but I just abandoned Bunny. It was a lost cause. I had to warn Ox about what was coming. Oh! Before I could run far down the hallway, however, I felt a shock to the back, then the front. Something had gone through me. What? Was my last thought before death? Confusion. Confusion at what had killed me. After that, I bled out. Chaos was happening around me, but I couldn't focus on any of it. Too busy dying. Phew. Bubs. In this scenario, Tiger is in a highly unstable state. If Mouse hadn't proven himself worthy enough, Bunny will take charge of the negotiations effort. Mouse might try to intervene, but if Tiger doesn't trust Mouse enough, that'll just make things worse. In the end, if Mouse can't gain the trust from either Ox or Tiger, the school will devolve into a full-on battleground. Battleground with many casualties. Oh, Mouse can't gain trust from either Ox or Tiger? The school will devolve into a full-on battleground with many casualties. Well, worst end. I shouldn't be surprised. That was pretty bad. Holy shit. I very much want to know more about Tiger's backstory. Because I definitely feel like the way that was described was not fair to Tiger in the slightest. The way that was described was not fair in the slightest. Because, like, and I hope that we're not expected to take Snake's conclusion as face value, as the truth. If so, then I'm gonna be mad. That's not cool if that's the case. Like as the actual truth, not Brian spinning things to needle people into killing each other. If it is just Brian spinning things to get people to kill each other, then huge success. If it's the truth, though, I don't buy it. 'Cause that's... If you think you have to have intent... If you think there's no such thing as self-defense in an abusive environment when your victim is smaller than you, physically smaller than you don't understand the dynamics of abusive situations, abusive power situations, abusive relationships, be them familial or romantic. That's not cool. We'll pick this up, see what we can change, but I'm not liking Tiger being victim blamed the shit out of here. I may be reducing the story that we were told to that, but that is what it feels like to me right now. We're blaming Tiger for essentially killing her mother. Storm back in with a knife and threatened her with a knife. Who cares if her mother was small and frail compared to big Tiger? It's meaningless if her mother has been awful all of her life. We don't know the full extent of what all Tiger's mother had done to her through her life. We don't know the full extent of that. And the fact remains that living with someone like that for a long period of time you don't know how to fight back. You don't have the will to fight back. To get back. Maybe it's not the right thing to say, but I'm saying that better not be the truth, because that's... Okay. How can this get worse? Oh, we did that. Obvious thing we can change is... We don't forgive Tiger. Tiger, what the hell was this about? No, Dragon was in the wrong, but that doesn't mean you can just brain them with a lamp. Why not? That's murder! Why did you hide this from us? Is that it? I guess we'll see if this changed anything. That did not, in fact, change anything. Fair enough. So... Is Tiger the killer? Yeah. Tiger did it. What? Seriously, Mouse? I thought you were on my side. I was until investigating. I don't think you're some monster, Tiger. You should have confessed at the start of this. We would have had a lot more sympathy for you. What are you talking about? I didn't do any of this. I guess I'll have to explain it then. Please do, Mouse, because I'm struggling to follow you here. You're with me when you found all that evidence against Tiger being the culprit. What could have changed your mind? The evidence is certainly at odds with an easy understanding of this crime. However, that doesn't mean Tiger isn't the culprit. It just means that Ox's vague explanation was missing many details. Look, I'll try and explain things the best they happened from the beginning. Let's start with how Dragon ended up here. The answer is surprisingly simple. Oh, why is Dragon here? He's going to attack Tiger. Dragon came here in order to attack Tiger. The metal pipe, which wasn't among the weapons confiscated, was likely brought by her. Obviously, Tiger couldn't go looking for someone like that while abandoning her post. Dragon clearly wanted to be the guard of the weapons. She also hid the fact that she had the hateful personality. Unfortunately, with that all in mind, I can only conclude that she had malicious plans in mind. Dragon's also the type who would challenge Tiger to a fight. Oh, that all makes sense to me. Okay, I buy that. But what then? Isn't it plausible that Dragon could be the one behind attacking Tiger? That's plausible, but incorrect. What? Wait, what? I'll get to why later, but let me keep explaining what happened. There was some scuffle between the two. I won't claim to know exactly how things went down beyond there, because I honestly don't know. At some point it ended up with Tiger pinning Dragon, choking her out. Bunny previously pointed out that if Tiger meant to kill Dragon, she could have crushed her throat at this point. So Dragon came here to attack Tiger, but they got into an actual fight. So she wasn't blindsided, she clocked Tiger in the middle of an actual scuffle? Is that what we're getting at? But he previously pointed out that if Tiger meant to kill Dragon, she could have crushed her throat at this point. That's absolutely correct. However, that didn't happen. Reason being, at that point, Tiger didn't actually want to kill Dragon, just restrain her. Maybe put her in her place. So she was strangling Dragon, but not to a lethal extent. Maybe she was trying to explain something to Dragon. However, if Dragon's anything, she's a fighter. She got one over on Tiger and escaped from her grasp. If I had to guess, I'd say Dragon poked Tiger in both of her eyes. Oh. That's why Tiger was rubbing her eyes when she woke up, even though she reportedly wasn't attacked in the eyes. At this point, despite escaping, Dragon was completely out of energy. You thought Tiger was totally trying to kill her. At this point, she was right. Enraged for the injury, Tiger went reeling backwards until she recovered. When she did, she was furious beyond belief. She grabbed the nearby lamp and came at Dragon. However, Dragon had begun writing a last message in her hopes of warning the rest of us. Even though Dragon was the attacker, whatever transpired in that fight had legitimately scared Dragon. Dragon thought that even though she was the traitor, Tiger might be an even more dangerous force to our group. Maybe she was just bitter that she lost and tried to make sure Tiger wouldn't get away unscathed. For other reasons, she didn't finish writing it before Tiger slammed the lamp through the back of Dragon's skull, killing her near instantly. Some blood splashed out onto the note in front. But Mouse, doesn't that scenario run into the problem I brought up earlier? Tiger should have noticed what was written on the note and destroyed it. Normally I'd agree with you. However, I'd like to test something out right now. I walked over to where the note was written. Using a pen, I wrote something on the sheet of paper. If you're really innocent, speak up now and you'll prove it. For writing it, I'll show it to the group. Hawk, Snake, and Bunny all reacted to the message, but didn't speak up. Tiger, on the other hand... What? It's the message Dragon wrote, right? I don't know what you're trying to show me with that. It was clearly meant to frame me. Can't believe you'd be so easily fooled, Mouse. I knew it. What? You can't read what's written on this sheet of paper, can you? Ah. Really, when Ox first showed this to us, you didn't react with surprise, more than confusion. You only got angry after Ox explained what it was to us. In fact, this isn't the only example of you not being able to read. Really, when talking to Pig, you clearly couldn't read the sign on this office's door. Even before that, when you found the lock to the weapons closet, you didn't realize there was writing on it. Seriously? She's not blind, is she? She hasn't acted like that at all. Care to explain yourself, Tiger? Way to expose my weakness in front of everybody, Mouse. Fine, guess I'll admit it. Vision is damaged. I'm not blind, but... Any of you hear about the story of Aliyah Abadi? Oh, she's willingly telling us this time. The woman hid the children she had with another man from her husband. Her husband was on an extended vacation before and during the birth. To keep them secret, she hid the kids in the basement of her house for years. Oh wow. I vaguely remember that. I remember hearing it as an example when I was learning about laws surrounding abuse, specifically child abuse. She became infamous after the story broke and was sentenced to prison for years due to neglecting her children to the point where it was deemed malicious. Oh, thank goodness. Why do you bring that up? Well, I'm her daughter, Zahara Abadi. Honestly, I've never really cared about that story. I mean, we never remembered anything from that time when we were too young. For all we were concerned, it's the same, as if we were adopted at a young age. We? Oh, me and my twin brother. Anyways, well, I've pretty much moved on from then. Actually, one thing from that time that stuck with me. Conditions surrounding how I see. The basement we were kept in was usually pitch black. Apparently, if a human's eyes don't take in enough light at a very young age, weird things can happen. Through development, the rods and cones in my retinas weren't properly calibrated to skip a bunch of science talk. The end result is that I distinguish between light and darkness, but I can't see detail. Think of it as an extreme version of color blindness. I can see the geometry of everything in the world, but it's all pretty much textureless. These results have been seen in mice and cats when they were experimented on. As far as I know, I'm the only human to ever have this condition. I guess that's the perk of such a weirdly unique upbringing. Calling it a perk of a unique upbringing certainly is a positive spin on the whole affair. That's incredible, Tiger. How have you been using your tablet? Mine's voice-operated. Apparently, for all his faults, the Jade Emperor is disability-friendly. The speakers kicked on. All are treated as equal under the law's watchful eye. God damn it, are you just watching this, you smug asshole? I honestly don't know if that was genuine or sarcastic. Anyway, I don't like talking about it, so thanks for that, Mouse. What does it prove? It doesn't prove anything by itself. However, it explains why you didn't get rid of the note. If you were observant, you might have realized Dragon was writing something down and ripped up the paper on policy. But you were so angry at that point that you didn't even notice. All well and good, Mouse, but we still haven't explained what the deal with that injury to the back... What the deal with the injury to the back of her head was. That still doesn't make any sense. You're right. It doesn't seem like she would give that injury to herself. If she could, she used one simple thing. Red Tiger, you, Tiger had an accomplice knock her out. Doesn't raise any contradictions, does it? Why would someone help her out? When would she have time to find an accomplice? Well... Sorry, I think I was confused. Actually, I think that the sniper rifle was used to knock her out. Mouse, I don't want to be the one to tell you this, but she was hit with the metal pipe, not the rifle. The pipe was the thing that hit her head, true. It wasn't the force behind the attack. Explain. After killing Dragon, Tiger began to panic. She just killed someone. Oh my god, did she just fucking use gun to pendulum a fucking pipe into her head? Holy fuck. Even though it was partially self-defense, she had no assurance that people would believe her when she said that. Even if they did, it's not as though in truth she was a completely blameless victim. It's clear that toward the end, Dragon had stopped her attacks. Even if it was in a fit of rage, Tiger did strike Dragon down from behind. Ultimately, Tiger decided that she had to hide what had happened. But she couldn't leave her post. People were liable to visit her at any moment. She was right. Ox and I were on our way at this point. So she decided to quickly come up with a story and make it look like she was attacked. I think we've all been underestimating Tiger. On the surface, she might not seem the smartest, but she's actually pretty quick on the uptake a lot of the time. And she's really good at physics. Which is why her makeshift ruse fooled us all. What ruse? She started by plunging a pen into the table. Oh! In the table to act as the base. She carefully placed the metal pipe against that pen. Then she fired 3 shots with the rifle at the wall to cause confusion. After all, if there was only one shot and it hit the pipe, it'd be much easier to figure out what happened. Finally, she sat in the proper place, carefully aimed the rifle, and fired it at one end of the pipe. Huh? The pen directed behind the center of the pipe. Path of least resistance. When one end of the pipe is pushed forward, it's for the other to swing outwards. It was that bullet-powered swing that ended up making that nasty gash to the left side of the back of her head. Such a plan was incredibly risky. It seriously hurt her, but with such momentum, it could have done so much worse. However, Tiger isn't the type to get scared by something like that. She probably didn't even think about it. She just executed her plan successfully. Afterwards, the pipe rolled to the floor beside her. Jesus. Lies. Lies, all of it. You didn't do anything like that. You can't prove any of it. You're already... You've got a bright future as a Phoenix Wright-esque defense attorney. Mouse. With a theory like that. Tiger, just admit it. Why would I admit to something that didn't happen? I've been saying all this, but you don't have any evidence, do you? Fine, you want me to show you some evidence? Here's something that'll prove that you were never really attacked. That, in truth, you were the one that killed Dragon. You're about to be done in by your own testimony. Huh? You said that you were standing by the counter, but in the corner of your eye you saw someone rushing at you from the hallway. You tried to turn toward them, but you were knocked out. Is this correct? Yeah, so what? Doesn't match up with your injury. What? You hit on the far left side of the back of your head. If you're looking into the nurse's office, then turned to face an attacker coming from the hallway, you'd be turning your head right. It's unclear how fast the attacker got you. However, if they swung at you, they'd most likely hit the right side of the back of your head. At best, they'd hit the left center of the back of your head. It's inconceivable that from that approach, they'd be able to lift the left side of the back of your head. Therefore, either you're completely lying about that happening, or leaving the part out where you avoided the attack and began to fight with the assailant, Dragon. That's not... You're just... As I expected, it was Tiger's work all along. Mind you, I feel like, at least... when we got Tiger to bring it up herself, at least I feel like we're going to be taking the fairer look at Tiger's past and her crime of killing her crazy, abusive mother. And that's promising. Becoming... anger fading somewhat. My earlier ire is lessening. We'll see how it pans out next video, but got me a bit salty, but they're turning it around, so thank goodness for that.